coming up right now. I know somebody's going to be like, switch over the scene, man. I got it, don't worry. And we put up our quality as well. I finally remembered to do that in between games to actually up our quality. So, in the round of 16, which is basically almost all Koreans now, we have, down here at the bottom left side of the map, teamless, but living, I think, in Europe right now. It is first. I'm pretty sure he lives in Europe now. Either he's a free agent in Korea or he lives in Europe. Because there's Yoda in Europe, there's MC in Europe, there's Real. I'm pretty sure there's First, and then there's also Hyun with them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and I could see by the registration what he has on him First. That means it looks like he is living in Germany right now. So, of course, First is a very good Korean player. Really good player. We'll see what he does, though, against his opponent over here at the top right side of the map. We just watched him 2-0 Suppy. It is Polt. Of course, representing CM Storm. If you guys haven't checked out their products, you know, give it a shot. You know, I've heard a lot of positive and good reviews. I actually haven't used them, to be honest, but I've got a mouse and a keyboard from CM Storm that came with my new computer. So they're like eventually, like, who knows, maybe I'll eventually break this damn SteelSeries keyboard that I've had for 3 years to a point where I can't even function with it. But yeah, no, give it a shot, man. I've heard some good reviews for their products, good stuff. First, wow. Opening up with that Nexus First. First opening up with the Nexus First. Damn, that's a way to make a statement in the start of the game. Now, the funny thing about this is, hopefully Polt, man, he goes the wrong way with the scouter. First could be in a lot of trouble. We have probes already scouting out, and man, with the Nexus First, you are lacking on units at the very start of the game, so a little bit unfortunate that Polt is going to be opening up with Reapers first, because he should be able to get some harassment done, able to kill some units off as well. Typically, I guess, when you're on a big map like this, especially versus a Protoss player, I think the Protoss player might be thinking that you should be expecting something like Command Center first. Just really depends. I don't know. It's also one of those things where right now we got the Cybernetics Core. The Reaper shouldn't be able to actually get a lot done. The Reaper should not be able to get a lot done because it's heading over to the north left side over here. It's going to fly into this base prior to the point where this SCV finds out about this. So it's going to get about the maximum amount of distance. There we go. Pulls back over down to the bottom left side. So that Reaper got about the maximum amount of distance it could have gotten before any scout was available to it. Now the big thing for First right now is going to be just, you know, good probe micro. It's going to be very important that he utilizes his ult to distract the Reaper as best he possibly can. Reaper's going to be actually gliding its way up inside. Looks like the natural over here, and there are a couple probes for the pickings right now. One goes down, second one will inevitably fall as well, and Zelts can only do so much in that type of a scenario, and Zelts trying to chase that thing down. Mothership Core coming out. Will poke actually the bear back for the time being, so no, this is still really good though for First. Losing 2 probes is not that bad of a deal because your opponent, he went into racks, he went into gas first before everything else. He just has his command center finishing up. You have a great opportunity in front of you right now to gain a little bit of a work count and a worker lead, and it looks like he was actually able to pick off the Reaper as well. So this is really big for First right now. He's going to be able to put a little bit of pressure, maybe even on the other side of the map. Now Polt's opening up his TVP kind of like how Polt usually does, going for a little bit of the quicker 3-rack style versus, say, a 3rd CC, or maybe a little bit of a quicker factor for the Widow Mines and the medevac drop, stuff like that. And this, of course, does allow him to be a little bit safer in the defensive position, but also allows him to be a little bit more aggressive because he does start up his stim. He's got 3 racks production, so you have to be a little bit careful. That Stalker taking a little bit of damage on the HP, not too bad. The shield bar is going to be okay. Mothership Core coming up inside the natural, harassing. We'll force the workers off the line for just a moment. Could probably fly back in there and continue doing a little bit of harassment. Marines heading across the map right now. Nice little pack of units, but again, realistically, only should be able to get so much done. Now, actually, the most important thing is actually to keep this Mothership Core alive. If, you know, Polt's kind of paid attention to the pathing, he could actually probe the bottom right area over here and maybe attempt to snipe it down. I've seen this happen before. Actually, it was last week when Bomber played MC in DreamHack Valencia. The Mothership Core kind of got tracked down and he got picked off, and then eventually just, you know, fortunately that stim finished up. Goes up that ramp, no force field available, and he just goes Marine Marauder heavy and just blows through all the forces. Terrans, we forget how much damage we could do when, you know, there's no mothership core around. It's crazy. There comes the Marines on micro away. Once all does go down, Sentry should maybe fall as well. He's got to micro back all of the units. He's actually starting to lose a lot of these units, and loses one Stalker. We'll lose the second one as well. Might actually lose the Mothership Core before he has actually an opportunity to activate Photon Overcharge. Uh-oh! First! What is going on right now, man? He's trying to desperately get an Oracle out, but man, so much damage already being done. He's losing 2 Stalkers, a Sentry, and a Zealot. That's more than enough right there, just for that Marine pack right there. Now coming up inside the main base, one worker goes down, focusing down the worker count. Another one goes down, another one goes down, another one bites the dust. Man, that is the most cost-effective Marine little force I've ever seen, I think, in my life. What the hell just happened there? Oracle flying inside the natural, starting to pick off some of those workers. Again, no turrets in place. Already looks like 6 kills, I think, right? 6 kills. Stim, for the time being, will push the Oracle out of the base, forcing the turrets up as well. So, I guess a little bit of payback. A little bit of payback against the worker counts. A little bit more to a reasonable situation for First, meanwhile, again, working that aggressive playstyle, going to be throwing down that third base, especially while these Marines are distracted by the Oracle as well. Now, again, with the turret placement, if, you know, the tentativeness is there for First, you might be able to, you know, fly within the left side and pick off some more workers. We once again have an Oracle flying in here, going to try to pick off some workers right now. But they're going to be able to get it! Got it! There's that green spray, man. And here comes the Oracle. It spots over this. I'm talking about attentiveness right now. Just continue working the worker count down. Now, for the most part, if I was First, I'd be very okay with trading these, especially with the amount of workers that he's getting down. He's up to 57, but the problem is he really does need to prepare himself some defenses back at home. There's a pretty thick I would say 2 medevacs worth of, almost 3 medevacs worth of a bio push coming across the map. Now, oh man, like, you need more time. You need more time. He's got sentries coming out. He's got 3 more gates forming. He's got blink. He's got +1. He's like in that middle of the road, and he sees a semi-truck kind of heading his way. He needs just a little bit more time to be able to actually produce enough units to deal with this, and they're starting to work their way up. Photon Overcharge is activated at the third base. We'll see if he tries to fight through it. Knocks down the pylon. We'll see if he tries to focus down. Looks like he might even just work on the worker count right now, but no. Kind of going in between. Snipes down the mothership core. Stalkers from the high ground trying to work their way through. Pole doing a good job of saving a lot of his forces. Will pull them back. And man, Photon Overcharge is a miracle cure for Protoss, I gotta admit. Any other scenario right there, you'd be very worried about. You'd be looking at a lost third base. You'd be looking at a lot of lost units and maybe a majority of these workers as well. So, Polto continuing to rally across the map, another couple medevacs worth of Marines and Bio, placing down his third base right there, and as well also has a bit of mine just in case. That left side, once again, is open for SCV pickoffs if you really wanted him. But now, the longer the game goes, the worse it is going to be off for Polt. 67 workers for First. Right now, he's had almost the most amount of time any Protoss has ever had to, you know, just kind of tech up without getting really too much punishment heading his way. And we should see just a huge influx of units. We should see a lot of production happening. And we have already Zealots getting warped in to defend. Photon Cannon, of course, kind of helping out in that regards. Double drop denied over at the natural. He's got some stalkers again. These are blink stalkers as well, don't forget. If you lift off against them, you could be in a little bit of trouble. Snipes down the Widowmine and blinks out. Nice, good work right there. So again, typically I would say this is very it's a rough position to be a Terran, but I got to give props to First because what he's doing everything right. He's playing correctly. He's playing correctly. He's doing everything right. The one problem right now, like we were talking about, is his unit count. He just needs more units. Here comes Polt's Bioforce heading inside the main base right now. This is 6 medevacs with a lot of bio. Man, this is going to be hard to defend against. No Photon Overcharge right now available for him. We see the Templar Archives just finishing up. Charge is not finished up just yet. We see right now desperately trying to focus down the medevacs as soon as he possibly can to deny all that healing power. And First, man, look at him. He's doing such a wonderful job knocking out the rest of the forces. There goes the last medevac, and Polt has to pull back. Meanwhile, over here, we had a huge run-by with Zealots. Got some more worker kills, was able to actually hack and slash it with the orbital, almost able to kill it. Like, this is what I'm talking about right now. Like, this is so beautifully played by First. Like, you would think right now with that amount of forces and that amount of bio that he'd be able to bowl his way through and micro his way out of it. But, man, just First being very attentive with this playstyle, sniping down the medevacs while the Zealots and the Sentries, they all aggro the ground army. So, First just playing magnificent this game. Does call for the pause. Asks, I don't know if he's getting, I don't know what he's asking for right now. Oh, I don't speak Hangul. I quit learning Hangul. I feel really bad. I like, what was it, 2012? I like started learning and like did a pretty good job of like picking it up, and then I just completely stopped, and I feel really bad for doing that. I feel really, really bad. Alright, so the games are continuing right now. As we see, sorry, I kind of had to hop out there for a second just to double check all my chats right now. Quadruple drop heading over to the left side of the map, and, you know, one medevac, a couple medevacs here with some support, you know, might not be able to get done, but four, that's quite a bit. Now, there is a Templar there in position ready to feedback if need be. We look and see that Pole just decided to drop them all out for now. First is getting to a point where I feel like it's going to be really hard for Pole to keep up, because he's in position to already grab a fourth base, but because of his tech and because of his econ and resources, he's producing at a really nice pace, and you can see right now just picking off units left and right all over the place. Soon we're going to have Storm in about a couple seconds finished up for all of these Templars as well. We have War Prism coming out, and once the War Prism comes out, you know you have to be very, very attentive on your side of the map as well. We do have a snipe on the pylon. Charge lots are getting picked off over here towards the top left side. There is the Templar over here. Just kind of forgot about it, just sending charge lots a little bit to their death. Meanwhile, over here, getting distracted by this push over here on the other side of the map. But here comes all of these Templars and charge lots. Gonna try to do the best that they can. Storm should be finished up. If he wants to use Storm, he's got the energy on a few of these Templars. Instead, decides to keep them over here. First, really trying to pick off everything that was over on the right side of the map beforehand. Now, you look at that. How much loss has happened? Workers lost, some charge loss. That's not too bad. That's not too bad of a if you're first. That's not too bad. Now, the one thing I would be worried about for First right now, he only has the +1 attack upgrade. I'm sorry, he's actually got +2. Sorry, he's got +2. He's got +2. Polt's going to be finishing up with this +2/+2 as well. If you do let Pole, you know, spread you out and start slowly picking you apart, you're going to allow him to catch up on upgrades, and once he gets the Ghosts out, man, that's a scary place to be at. It's a very scary place to be at. You don't want to play Pole when he's got Ghosts out. He'll make sure he'll cover you up with EMPs. Are these Templars for Storms or Archons? Looks like feedbacks. It's like a math equation, yeah. With the bio army heading down 50 miles per hour down the middle of the ramp cross positions, and you just warped in 4 Templars. And the Templars, you know, they're recovering. They're covering energy at this point in time, like at this pace. Do you have enough to get Storms out? Now, remember that War Prism we were talking about. The War Prism doing, I guess, a little bit of work over here, picking off some of the workers' charge lots, hacking away at the SCVs right now. Pole does have a 4th base up. Blinkstalker's caught a little bit out in the open of the map. They need to blink the hell out of here. On cooldown. There we go. Saves them. All right, we got the late translation coming through. Are you lagging? Pole says I'm fine. Sorry, go. See, I guess I thought they would have been just cracking on foreigners, man. You know, I thought my guess was as good as any. Now, Pole does have that Ghost Academy finally coming down right now. Typically, we would say this would be a little bit late, but at the same time, he has been pretty busy on his side of the map and also continuing to put a lot of pressure on his opponent. Good first Storm, good feedbacks. Oh my goodness! Pole, are you okay? Pole, are you okay? That hurt me to watch. As a Terra player, I'd be like, oh, my heart just stopped. Now, Polt is, of course, splitting up his opponent over 2 areas. He's got him focused on the left side of the map. Meanwhile, over here, we do have a pretty nice force over here at the bottom right side of the map. He's throwing down a lot of scans, double-checking where his opponent's location is, and there we go. He's going to go right in here. Does he have any Templars back here? No, he doesn't, and this is basically a free Nexus for the pickings. Takes out the cannon. We'll just focus down the Nexus, of course. Meanwhile, we do have the force pressing in over here towards Polt's 4th base. We'll see how much he's actually going to be able to get done. Meanwhile, these forces should continue over here into the main. Start picking up pylons, start picking off forces. We'll see how much APM Polt has right here to continue this. A lot of repair going on over on the planetary, but a little bit too much firepower on the side of first for the time being. Up to 172 supply, 61 workers at 45. +3 just finished up for Polt right now, man. Just not fortunate enough to finish up any sooner. DTs are clearing up some of the units over here. Colossus does get sniped down as it walks out. A lot of workers doing that long distance mining that are getting caught right now, but Templar with a lot of energy just killed off right there. Robo going to get sniped down. Charge lots, of course, will force the lift off for now. Hopefully the medevacs don't just fly completely over cannons. Attack does continue over here. More medevacs do continue getting picked off. There are no Templars within this force, so I think this is not to a point. Yeah, I was about to say, I'm like, this is to a point and extent where first shouldn't continue this attack. Charge lots working their way against this 3rd base right here, forcing that lift off. And for the most part, the game essentially has again evened up and it's stabilized because both players are now back down to 3 base. Polt almost mined out from his main, getting very close to his natural as well. 3rd base, of course, one of those prime locations where mules are going to be dropped on, so expect some minerals to get even shaved off quicker over there. So if first manages to keep this 3rd base alive, he's got probably the freshest econ out of both players, and right now, one of those elastic units, or as we call them in StarCraft 2, is just Templars, man. The Templars, they're able to regain energy. They're able to storm, they're able to feedback, they're able to outlast, they're able to do the most amount of damage for what feels the least, so at least in my opinion. Because they have so much prime potential, especially once they get full energy 2 storms and the feedback. I mean, you just saw already first put on a prime performance right there over on that earlier engagement that happened over here. Threw down the storms, threw down the feedbacks on all the medevacs, very quick micro on that. Now, first very attentive as well, finds that new fist right now. Polt scans, he's like, haha, nope, not happening, not right now. But he does have a quadruple medevac drop down at the bottom right side of the map. This is going to be very interesting to see how much damage can, first get done over here. Is he just going to press in and contain his opponent? I'm also interested to see back at home what he really has in defense. First right now, 2 Templars over at this base, trying to get his old 3rd base back up and running again. I don't know if he's got any Templars or anything like that over in here. No, he doesn't. So defense is back at home, not really a lot available for him. Good storms right there, going to clear out the medevacs very quickly. That last Colossus is going to live through from what it looks like. Indeed it does. Additional units trying to work their way through. Now the production is getting camped. This is when it gets really sketchy for a Terran player because any unit that pops up automatically walks out to its death, and it's really an unfortunate circumstance because really this is what you have left to work with. Now Polt, again, very attentive with the base trade. What is he going for first? Pylons. He knows what to go for. Knocks out already almost all of the gates right there. Only a couple left, I think, available on the whole entire map. Actually, just 1 left. These Templars are going to be key factors here if Polt decides to rotate over back into the 3rd base. But like we were talking about, the production is camped right now for Polt. His 3rd base, of course, in a little bit of trouble now. Polt actually able to lift off against a lot of this, and he's going to just try to bust this army up. And he's going to go for it. He's going to try to bust this army up. Good force fields right there, throwing down the storm. Good force field right there, continuing. Archons working their way through. Only a few Marauders left right there. Really nothing left to work with for Polt, unfortunately. We'll end up losing these last few medevacs. Now, this is going to be very crucial right here. He's taken out all the production right now, at least in terms of first. No ability to produce anything. Very important key, actually, right now. If somehow first was able to warp in some DTs, DTs are another one of those units that, as a Terran player, if you're not very attentive, if you've got all your command centers and orbitals lifted off, you have no detection available for you. So those DTs can do quite a bit of damage. Now he's taking out the rest of this. Now watch this. Watch this very closely right here. He's going to knock all of this out. He's going to lift off. He's going to fly at this natural. He's already got the Templars in prime position. He's actually got another force actually over here located. Activate the photon overcharge. Activate the photon overcharge. No, doesn't get it. Alright, so you might have to throw down a little bit of an early storm over here on this army right there, and indeed he does. Throws down a second one. Here comes that drop. Here comes the drop. Here comes the drop. There's a storm. There's a second storm. Good amount of damage done. And remember, those medevacs have been healing their butts off the whole entire game, so you could just see a lot of these units will stay in that red. It will stay in that orange. Polt's going to drop down in supply, lose the rest of his units. I think this is GG, and indeed it is. First takes the first game, and hell of a TVP to kick things off in this series.